Melissa Gallagher runs a popular YouTube channel called Natural Health Resources. She calls herself Dr. Melissa Gallagher, ND, and this sounds very official.
Welcome! I'm Dr. Melissa Gallagher. I am a doctor of naturopathy and I am a lymphatic drainage therapist.
In this video, I'm going to show that she's using the title of doctor illegally. She probably never went to a school that could give her any legitimate ND degree, and watching her videos reveals her to be nothing more than an affiliate marketer in a lab coat. So let's break down all of the problems with her qualifications. The first thing I want to briefly cover here is what an ND or naturopathic doctor is. We don't see many of them here in the UK, but in North America there are about 8 schools which offer a 4-year program focusing on alternative medicine, and in various states of Canada and the US, people who graduate from these schools with an ND degree can take NPLEX exams and be licensed to practice naturopathic medicine, sometimes using the title of doctor. Just to be clear, an ND degree is not the same as an MD degree, and the scope of what naturopathic doctors can do when they are licensed is limited. I'll put some links below, but it varies state by state, and this is where we run up against our first problem. Naturopaths are not licensed or regulated in the state of Georgia, where Melissa is based, and they are not permitted to use the title of doctor. Anyone can call themselves a naturopath, but describing yourself as a naturopathic physician or a naturopathic doctor in the state of Georgia is strictly forbidden. And because naturopathic doctors are not licensed, Melissa can't legally do any of the limited things that NDs in some other states can do. So she can't diagnose an illness, prescribe any medicine, or perform any surgery, which makes her a strange kind of doctor. But she is allowed to wear a lab coat at least. Okay, well, legal technicalities aside, does she at least have an ND degree? Has she been educated to the same standard as naturopathic doctors who are licensed in other states? Well, her LinkedIn page says that she attended Clayton College of Natural Health from 2007 to 2008, earning her doctorate of naturopathy. Clayton College was a notorious diploma mill. Its closing in 2011 was celebrated not only by skeptics of alternative medicine, but also by the naturopathic community itself. Clayton College offered no clinical training, and it's hard to understand how anyone could think a doctorate-level qualification can be earned by distance learning in a year. Because Clayton College is not one of the accredited North American naturopathic schools, Melissa cannot use this qualification to become a licensed naturopath, even if she did live in a state which licenses NDs. Melissa also says that she got her doctorate of naturopathy from Clayton College on this entry in the Vitality directory and on this archive webpage from a wellness clinic she used to run in Florida. And here's where things start to get murky, because if we head over to Melissa's current website, she says that she has a doctorate in naturopathic medicine from the University of Bridgeport, graduating in 2008. Just a note here, Bridgeport is one of the accredited schools I mentioned before, and I really don't believe she ever graduated from this school. Firstly, why would she have studied for 2 naturopathic degrees, both graduating in 2008? Secondly, the Bridgeport degree is a 4-year full-time course in New England, but during the time when she would have been supposedly studying this course, Melissa's LinkedIn details a career in recruitment, which seems hard to reconcile with full-time study. 3 people gave her recommendations on LinkedIn in 2007, including one person who was obviously being managed by Melissa as a recruiter. I know some people work second jobs during school, but that is stretching the limits of my credulity. Given that the Clayton degree was just a distance learning sham, I think it's much easier to imagine someone holding down a job whilst completing it. I also think it's pretty weird that years after graduating, Melissa did not call herself a naturopathic doctor or physician or even a naturopath. In 2009, she published an article in the local press which described her as a wellness diva, and in 2010 she was interviewed for a magazine which described her as a trained natural health practitioner and wellness coach. Finally, if she really does have a degree from Bridgeport, why doesn't she just move to a state where she can be licensed? Here's my theory. Melissa took the year-long pretend doctorate from Clayton as attested by at least 3 different biographies she wrote herself, and at some point figured that a CV would look a lot better with an accredited school on it.
You really think someone would do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies?
Now, Melissa also claims to have attended the University of South Florida for a Masters of Science program. On her LinkedIn, she says it's an endocrinology, diabetes, and metabolism residency program. Now, I don't really understand how a Masters of Science degree can be a residency program, and I'm even more confused because her website says she has a Masters in metabolic and nutritional medicine. Similar sounding courses for sure, but if you took a master's degree, I think you'd probably remember the title. I'm also somewhat skeptical that Melissa would even meet the academic requirements to take this course or have the time to take it, as she was also running her wellness boutique and still working as a recruiter when she was supposedly doing this master's degree. Her other claimed qualifications and certifications are just unaccredited alternative medicine rubbish, and whether or not she really is a certified level 2 FEAMT lymphatic decongestive therapist is hardly worth investigating. Obviously, I'd reached out to Melissa on Facebook and she saw my message and didn't reply. Her silence isn't exactly incriminating, but I do think this would be rather easy to clear up if she really did attend Bridgeport and USF. Look, I'm willing to accept that I could be wrong here. Perhaps Melissa really did graduate from 2 ND programs simultaneously whilst managing a recruitment office. Maybe these discrepancies in her education can be resolved, but I really do think these problems demand an explanation. If I could summarize the problem here, I'm not criticizing Melissa in this case because she's a naturopath. I'm putting her on blast because she's not even a naturopath. Okay, so she's not a doctor, she probably doesn't have a real ND degree, but is her advice any good? Well, on this point, I'd put her in the Dr. Berg category. She's not really advocating for anything extreme. She's not really telling patients to refuse effective medicine or start a restrictive diet, at least not on YouTube. But the advice that she does give is focused very keenly on selling things. Most of these videos are just sales pitches disguised as health advice. Her video descriptions are full of affiliate links, and whilst there's a small disclaimer at the bottom, she doesn't make it obvious from the outset that she is earning money when you buy these products. It's a conflict of interest that should be made clear. This video on prostate health doesn't give any evidence-based advice as far as I can tell, but she does encourage her viewers to buy an ineffective herbal treatment, a cortisol test for $195, which she says can help her to manage your prostate health, but she doesn't explain how. She also wants to sell these poor guys mini trampolines and homeopathic remedies. I think the problem with these kind of videos is that Melissa is presenting these sales pitches as if they are her professional opinion as a doctor. See how she introduces herself.
Welcome back, gentlemen. It's Dr. Melissa Gallagher here. I'm so excited to talk to you about the most powerful fruit.
I don't know what her analytics look like, but they're likely biased towards older men and women. Her audience probably see no difference between someone like Melissa and the kind of doctor they see at a surgery. I expect a very large proportion of her audience couldn't tell you what an affiliate link is either. I doubt many people know that they are being sold to. If you think you have prostate trouble, you should see a doctor who can examine you and give tailored advice and tell you if it's something more serious. If you take your advice from a YouTube doctor, she can only give everyone the same sales pitch, and there's no way for her to know whether you're really suffering from something more worrying than a swollen prostate. I'm not going to spend much more time on the advice she gives. Some of the advice is just painfully obvious, like telling people with dry skin on their feet to use a scale and moisturize. If you're the kind of person who didn't already know this, I guess you could extract some benefit from watching her videos. But if I had to summarize the content of her channel, it's just a mixture of non-evidence-based ideas, old wives' tales, and marketing links presented as medicine. You won't find a single source or link to a trial or study in amongst the hundreds of affiliate links on her channel, and I'm struggling to understand what people like about her so much. If you enjoyed this quick video, please like it. This is part of a series, so be sure to check out my other uploads and subscribe for more. I read all the comments and reply to most of them, so if you've got a good idea for a video or anything else, let me know. I've got Facebook and Twitter up and running, so go like the page or follow me and I'll try and post more.